From fashion to lifestyle and to being a devoted husband, one of 757's fashion icons, Roderick Stringfield, has always seemed to have every aspect of his life well connected. But what makes him able to do that? Today I sit down with him to talk about the past, the present, and how the future will be shaped by the man himself. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it by starting out how Rod became Rod.
Man, I'm probably gonna take it back to like sixth grade. I think that's when I first really just started to see different fashions and stuff like that. In elementary school, I had like a small taste of it. I was in like a People's fashion show, and they would like sponsor me, so I got little outfits for school and everything like that. And I think as I transitioned from fifth to sixth grade, that's when I started to see more kids. You got to see different fashions and stuff. But I think that's when I like really first fell in love with fashion, just like seeing different fashions and stuff like that. Kind of got to travel and see different things. I was always inspired by my cousins lived in New York, so I went to New York like every summer or something like that, and just seeing how they dressed up there, and then being in Atlanta and seeing how they dressed down there. I just kind of got to fuse a lot of different things. A lot of people always ask me, like, "Where you from, man?" I'm like, "From Virginia," but they just never know because I'm always mixing, different styles. So
And with that mixture, along with this friend that had an early eye for upscale fashion, you had the beginnings of what would now become Million Dollar Mannequin.
I think it takes it back just being different. Um, I tell the story of how we really got into it. So I'm the co-founder of Million Dollar Mannequin. I have a partner, Troy Sinatra Royale, Durio, and we pretty much were working together in the same spot. At that time, I was working on a whole another clothing line called Fame, stood for fashion and money every day. And at that time, I was like, just kind of figuring out, different logos and stuff like that. And I started to play with one. At that time, Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 had came out. And I had painted a t-shirt. I used to paint t-shirts back in high school. And I made that shirt, went to work that day, and Troy was like, yo, like, that's different. Like, that's fire. Like, he was like, you look like $1 million mannequin. And when he said that, it kind of just like, what? Like, what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, that's dope. Like, we dress mannequins in here every day. Like, that's our job. But like, to say like, yo, you look like $1 million mannequin, I was like, yo, that name kind of just stuck with me. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, I came back to him and I was like, yo, you should use that name. Like, you call me $1 million mannequin. Like, you advertise the lifestyle you lead. And that kind of became our slogan. Like, yo, you know, dress fresh like $1 million type thing. And that's where it kind of emerged.
And with that, Million Dollar Mannequin was born and receiving early success. But with his inspirations, he will never lose his connection to staying grounded and humble.
Um, I'd say definitely the love of family, friends. I'm all about just my close knit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we made $1 Million Mannequin for us. And my inspiration is to get us into a better place, right? So that includes my very close circle of friends. And of course, Troy, he's always on me about, this is what you want to do in life. This is where you want to be. Like, this is where you got to take it. So, between my wife and my best friend, and like I said, my close set of friends, my wife, she's a huge inspiration for me. Just always supporting me, always pushing me. She definitely drives me to do better. And if I'm slacking off in something, she'll poke at me to make sure I'm getting back on it. So
A driving force that Rod feels is one of the most important parts of the success of Million Dollar Mannequin since the moment they met.
well, we met. This was back honestly around the same time of the birth of $1 Million Mannequin, the 2009 area, and she definitely was there to say, yeah, go for it. It's a lot of times you meet people who, you know, spouses don't support them in their dreams and endeavors. I've always worked hard, and I invest a lot of money into Million Dollar Mannequin. So, just being willing to let me kind of do my thing and really lead the household is very dope on her behalf, and just being able to let me just kind of get out there and do my thing.
And allowing him to do his thing has not only set him up with a beautiful present, but also a clear sight on what's to come.
I think the biggest part right now is looking at how fashion is changing, and we're going to see retail and small companies like us going, honestly. So I think for us right now is just kind of looking at day by day, like, what are we going to do to start to transition ourselves to be in the forefront of what's to come. We definitely want a brick and mortar, small boutique as we move forward. That's probably like, I want to do it next year to keep it a buck. I would love to open a store next year, but we want to open up more avenues for younger, just generational people to come up, right? So I'm thinking also to have, textile where we're able to print for other companies and stuff like that are really serious about the brands.
With Rod having a firm control on how his destiny will be shaped, he wants to make sure he's giving back to the people that helped him along the way, the less fortunate, and also has an inspiring message for people in the same field that's looking to climb up.
So right now we're working on coming up with Million Dollar Mannequin Know Your Worth Foundation. And pretty much when I was in high school, my passion was just helping others, right? There's a lot of kids that are coming up in high school, middle school, doesn't matter, it's getting younger and younger, who are just having self-esteem issues, right? A lot of kids come up and they're just lost. Like, we really don't know what we want to do. Our parents are kind of leading us in a certain direction, but we just don't have a idea of what we want to do. So we're just kind of just going about life and just following whatever we see on TV or anything like that. And I kind of want to give kids like a real sense of hope for like what's real. Like, what do you really want to do? You want to go to college? Do you want to go right into the workforce? Do you want to be a creative and really create all your life? You know what I'm saying? So I just want to help kids kind of find themselves and build that self-esteem to know who you are as a person and what you want to do. So the Know Your Worth Foundation is definitely going to be involved with the youth for sure. Now, right now, we're working on just kind of giving back to the community. So a project I'm working on right now is just the Know Your Worth Foundation presents pretty much the Million Dollar Mannequin Know Your Worth beanies. We're going to be selling these beanies for $15 a piece, and pretty much being able to sell these beanies and take the profits from them and be able to give back, right? So the first way we're doing it, it's going to be a cold winter. So this winter, I want to buy more beanies, more gloves, blankets, and be able to give these things back to homeless shelters and, just ones that we see. Family, it might be a family that needs, but just anything we can do to kind of take the profits from our works and be able to give back to our community. So, well, one, stay true to yourself. Two, stay consistent. A lot of people will, try to get into some type of creative field. They do it once and they may fail, and they're like, oh, well, I didn't make money off this, or people didn't give me likes on Instagram or something like that. That's going to happen. You're going to have ups and downs in this creative process, but the biggest thing is just staying consistent amongst the journey. And if you stay consistent, I guarantee you something's going to hit. Somebody's going to see it. People are going to start to love it. I don't think everybody loved Million Dollar Mannequin when we first started, but we wore it and we stayed very true to ourselves, and I think that made for building kind of the brand awareness around us, and we became the Million Dollar Mannequin.